Hi, friends. Welcome to the EFT training workshop. I'm so excited that you're here. Let's just dive right in, shall we? So, what is EFT? EFT is emotional freedom technique, and it's the process of tapping on specific meridian points on your body in order to remedy a number of issues in your life. Tapping can rewire your brain and take away the negative charge associated with bad memories, with triggers, with stress, with anxiety. It can also work as a form of exposure therapy. So, throughout this workshop, I am going to teach you how it works, what situations you can use it for, and how and where to tap so that by the end of this, you'll be able to tap on your own if you so desire. So let's get into the science first. The body can't tell the difference between actual threats and what our amygdala perceives as a threat, which is crazy. So, what tapping does is halts our fight or flight response and it reprograms the brain and the body to react differently. So, tapping on these meridian points sends a calming response to the amygdala so it knows that it's safe. And tapping while focusing on a past memory or discussing a stressful event, talking about triggers, talking about anxiety, on, it reprograms your hippocampus and it tells the amygdala that it's safe. EFT isn't a mind eraser, but it can clear the negative and emotional charges behind triggers and memories and stress and anxiety, and it can change our response to that event and to life going forward. So this is just a basic list of some things you can tap on. You can tap on more than this. This is just a generalized thing, okay? So anxiety caused by anything, fear, blocks and limiting beliefs, guilt and shame, emotional and mental wounds, motivation, procrastination, health issues, stress and overwhelm, or relational issues. And like I said, and the list goes on. So, how do we get started? First, you identify your most pressing issue. So, this can be done on your own. Obviously, you are going to know what your most pressing issue is. It can also obviously be done with the help of a coach or practitioner like me. Then you're going to get as specific as possible. So the more specific you are when you're tapping, the greater your results are going to be. So instead of saying, oh, I'm stressed, you're going to say, I am stressed because of this current work project, this current deadline, this event that's coming up, this relationship problem I'm having, whatever it may be. Then you're going to craft your script, and that is setting up your statement and your reminder statements. This again can be done on your own, but can be much easier with the help of a coach or practitioner who would prepare the script for you. So your setup statement is always going to look like this. It's always going to be, even though I insert most pressing issue, I deeply love and accept myself. I deeply and completely accept myself. I fully love and trust myself. Whatever verbiage applies better to your situation, but it's always going to be that way. Even though I this, I that. Does that make sense? So even though I am under an immense amount of stress because of my current work project, I deeply and completely accept myself. So phase one is identifying the issue. Is it removing a block, rewriting a memory, stress or overwhelm, working with fear or anxiety? What's the issue? Then you're going to check in and rate it. And this is an important step so that you can track how well the tapping is working and know how much more you need to do before you move on to the end of the tapping process. The third thing you're going to do is tap, tap, tap. So when you check in and rate it, going back to step two, you're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And typically you are picking something that's your most pressing issue, and you're feeling that stress in your body, that anxiety, that fear, that overwhelm, whatever it is. You're checking in with yourself, feeling how strongly you feel it in your body, and typically it's going to be between an 8 and a 10 to start. Ideally, you want to have it down to a 1 or a 0 at the end. So just wanted to mention that it's a 1 to 10 scale. So then I list out the meridian points there, but I want to show you on this graphic all 9 points. These are the basic general tapping points. If you work with a practitioner, these are probably the points they're going to use. However, not everyone uses all 9 points in their tapping, and that is okay. It's okay to use 4 or 5. It's okay to use 3. It's okay to use just your collarbone, whatever you want to do. But when you are starting, you're going to say your setup statement with the karate chop. So your even though statement, you will repeat while tapping on the side of your hand. That's called the karate chop point. So that's going to be your setup statement. And then when you work through the other points, you're going to just say thoughts or feelings or describing the pain in your body if you're feeling stress in a certain part of your body. So it might look something like this if we're talking about stress at our job, right? So even though I'm under an immense amount of stress with this current work project, I deeply love and accept myself. And usually you repeat that a second time, sometimes a third time. So we'll pretend we did that. Then you're gonna start eyebrows. This project is really stressful. Side of the eye. I have to work with so and so. Under the eye. I really don't like working with them. Under the nose. They don't value me as a colleague. Chin. And I end up doing most of the work. Collarbone. And it's just too much for me to handle. And then, top of the head, I really want this project to be over quickly. So, you kind of get an idea. You're going to be saying your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, the things that are coming up for you at each point and go through. Then at the end, you're going to squeeze your wrist, take a deep breath in, and let it out. And at the end of the first round, what I like to do, whether I'm doing regular tapping or energy tapping, which I'll talk about in a second, is after that first round, I have my clients stretch out, really get loose, wiggle their toes, and just kind of do I'm yawning. Yawning happens a lot with tapping. Is just have them like relax their body. Then you're gonna check in. Okay, think back to what we started tapping on. Like, how are you feeling now? What would you rate it on a 1 to 10 scale? And you move forward that way. And you go down and down until you're at, I like to do a 2 or 1 or 0. And then you can go through and you will do affirmation tapping, is how I like to do it. Everybody might do it. Different practitioners might do it differently. But what I like to do is when it is down low enough is to go through and do affirmations at each point and kind of just solidify that. We're really just we're rewiring our brain, and then we're ending it on this is what I believe now about this situation. This is how I feel now. These are the affirmations. This is my new truth. Got it? Okay. So I also want to say another type of tapping that I am certified in is called energy, EFT tapping. And that starts with a type of breath work called heart breathing. And it's just going to center you in your body more. It's going to get you focused and aligned before you start tapping. And I honestly do energy tapping more than any other tapping at this point with my clients. And so the difference is it starts with breath work. With your even those statements, you're not tapping on your hand. You're saying them on an exhale as guided by a practitioner. And then you're going to start tapping at the top of your head instead of ending tapping at the top of your head. And you're going to add in a third eye point there at the center of your forehead. And so your last tapping point would be the collarbone. I don't use the underarm tapping point with any of my clients, because I have a bigger chest, and the ladies get in the way when I'm like trying to get over, and I don't need to be dealing with that dealing with them when I am trying to help someone. So if you tap with me, you will notice I do not do the underarm point. Okay. So when you're getting to the root of the issue, these are just some examples of questions I might ask you in a coaching session, but you can absolutely get to the root yourself. I just find personally, for me, See, once I start tapping the yawning, my subconscious works overtime to keep me from getting to the root of the issue, right? Your subconscious is always working to keep you safe and to keep you happy and at a, even keeled. Even if that means holding you back. So when you're doing this kind of work, it can be hard to get to the root of the issue on your own, but you absolutely can, or you can work with a coach or practitioner. So if it's something like anxiety, overwhelm, or stress, what exactly is causing you the anxiety? What exactly is causing you to feel overwhelmed or stressed? And why don't you think you can get that done? Or what don't you believe you can get done? Just kind of peeling back the layers of, you might think you're stressed about one thing, but what really is it? If it's a past wound or a memory, how did this situation make you feel? What do you wish you would have said? What would you rather remember? What specific things do you remember about that event? What was going through your head at the time? You want to really get to the root of what's popping up for you when that memory comes up. If it's a block or limiting beliefs, when was the first time you felt this way? What do you believe about this situation and why? Or who has talked this way to you in your past? This question is so big. And I remember when my therapist asked me, like, who has talked to you this way? I was like, holy, like, this isn't something from me. This is from this person. And when you're able to separate your inner thoughts and your inner dialogue from, this isn't something that I came up with. This isn't something that I actually think. This is something that someone else thinks and projected onto me. This is something that someone else said to me and they were wrong. This is something that is not true because this is from someone else. And when you're able to separate it like that, when the thought comes up again, it's so much easier to get rid of. And that was life changing for me when the first thing I worked on was my body image and living in a bigger body and everything that comes with that. And when I was able to take away the ownership I was claiming on someone else's thoughts and someone else's ideas, it was like, what was I doing? Why was I believing that? But that's the thing with limiting beliefs, right? We believe them, and so we see them as true. We don't think that they're limiting. We don't realize, hey, this is what's actually holding me back, and I don't claim that anymore. So, some life-changing info for you. Okay. So this part is a part in the workshop that's a little interactive, but since you are watching this on YouTube, you're just going to have to pause and we'll pretend that it's interactive. So we are going to tap. I'm going to walk you through tapping, just tapping, on money blocks, stress, and limiting beliefs. And we're going to do 3 different ways. So for money blocks, it could be upper limit blocks. It could be a perception you have of people who have money. It could be how money was viewed in your house growing up. So what I want you to think about is, what is your current, this is when you might need a pen and paper. Okay, I gave you time to pause. What is your current financial situation? How do you feel about your current financial situation? How was money treated in your house growing up? These are just some things to kind of get the juices flowing, right? So then what you're going to do is pause me in a second and you're just going to free write. And what you're going to write at the top of your paper is, money is ... And some examples could be like, money is hard to come by. Money is only for rich people. Money is unlucky. Whatever you feel about it is not wrong. Your feelings about money are valid. And so write them down because they are yours. Okay. And then you're going to just list them out. List as many as you can. I would say free write, since we're not doing this together. This is on YouTube. Just pause and you can free write till your pen stops, or you can set a timer, whatever you want to do. And you're just going to write out from there. So I will let you pause. And now you're back. So yay, great job. And what you're gonna go do now is go to your list and look at it and see which one you felt the most. Which one, when you wrote it down, you were like, oh, God, like, I don't like that belief, or I feel that, I feel uncomfortable with that, this triggers something, whatever it is, you're going to highlight it, circle it, star it, underline it, whatever you want to do, however you want to do this, really make it your own. And that would be the first thing you tap on for money. That is the main issue. That's going to be your biggest issue right there for money. So you're going to rate, check in with yourself, rate the feeling on a 1 to 10, and then go through and tap. So if we were just doing generalized tapping on this, again, I can't help you specifically via a YouTube video, but I can do a generalized thing, and you can say things specific to your situation, things specific to what you wrote down. So money is, let me think. I'm doing this spontaneously. Money is evil. Uh-oh, my dogs. Money is evil. We'll just say that, okay? Halloween just happened. It's in the air. Okay. So we'll tap. Pause, please. Okay. I had to pause because of my children. So you are going to say, even though I believe money is whatever you said, whatever you wrote down, I deeply love and accept myself. And then again, even though money is evil, I believe money is evil, I deeply love and accept myself. Okay, we'll go through and start tapping. Eyebrows. Everyone I've known with money has been this way. Side of the eye. And so now I think that money is evil. Under the eye. I've seen money cause a lot of problems. Under the nose. And I've seen people with money go crazy. Chin. Don't know what to think about money. Again, you're just saying whatever's working for you. Collarbone. Money can tear up families. Top of the head. Money is a cause of stress. And then you would squeeze your wrist, take a deep breath in, and let it out. And let's wiggle your toes, do a big stretch. Get comfortable in your body. Okay, and then you would go in, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. My dogs are down here. And see how you're feeling. So see, this is something that once you get the hang of it, you can do on your own. But if you have a practitioner, they're going to say the script and you're just going to repeat after them. So it's a little bit easier for you. So for stress, we're going to do a free write. And again, so you'll pause again in a second. And we're going to make a list of everything you should do. And the word should implies that we're not enough as we are. It focuses on failures and it shames us. So what we're going to do is change our should to a choose. And then it's going to feel a lot more empowering. So I should read more becomes I choose to read more. And with this list, you're going to write down everything you should do. And we're going to tap on the shoulds. Even though I should do this, I choose to do this. And I choose to forgive myself for this. I choose to do this way. I choose to whatever. And so it's should, choose, should do, choose to do tapping. So go ahead and pause it, and you can make a list of everything you should do. Yay, you're back. Okay. So this wave tapping is a little different too. So you're going to do even though I should, whatever one you feel the most resistance with, right? You're going to highlight, underline, star, circle, whatever that one. That's the one we're going to tap on. And you're going to do, even though I should clean my kitchen, I deeply love and accept myself. You're going to say it 3 times. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go through, and at each meridian point, you're going to repeat your should statement as for each point. Okay. And you can do as many rounds of your should statement as you like. But make sure you're checking in and rating it, so you're not just going on a tapping frenzy and not doing, you're not doing it when you don't need to be doing it anymore. Then you're going to go through on those same meridian points, and you're going to say, I choose to clean my kitchen. I choose to do this because, and you can put in why you need to get it done. You can put in affirmations. You can put in, I choose to do this because I know it'll make me feel better when it's done. I know it'll feel good to cross this off my to-do list. So you're ending on that really positive note. So, makes sense to everyone? You can go ahead and pause, do that tapping if you are ready to do that now. You can pause and do that now. Okay, now you're back. So for limiting beliefs, this is very hard to walk you through how to tap over video without being on a call with you. Limiting beliefs suck, man. I mean, this is something somebody said to you during your childhood. This is family inflicted. This is a friend that hurt you. Maybe it's self-inflicted or caused by a wound. This is something that almost all my coaching goes through this at some point, right? We've all got limiting beliefs. But our patterns, beliefs, habits, and emotional reactions are formed through and thus deeply affected by our childhood experiences. So a vast majority of our understanding of the world is formed before the age of 7. So it's hard to see these beliefs as limiting, like I said earlier, because we often believe them to be true. We aren't raised doing the work to unravel these beliefs as children, because kids don't, they're kids, right? And so this is something that is really hard and also at the same time immensely freeing and immensely amazing when you can get to the other side. Okay. So what I want to show you next is the tapping tree. And this is from the book, The Tapping Solution. And I'm just going to go through this with you real quick. So what you're going to do is, when you have the limiting belief that you're ready to work with, you're going to start with the symptoms of that belief. And so that's the leaves. And just list them out. So if it was, oh gosh, what's a limiting belief? My mind is going blank. If it's something like plus size, the people cannot be truly happy. Let's just pull some obnoxious, totally false thing out of the air, because that's what limiting beliefs are, right? So the symptoms of that, how that's showing up for you, if you were to be a plus size person, is keeping yourself small, is choosing not to do things that will make you happy because you think you don't deserve to be happy. Then we would move on to the emotions of that, which are the branches of the tree. The emotions of that is, oh my gosh, I picked a really heavy one. Depression, feelings of worthlessness, feelings of sadness, feelings of probably anger, resentment, on and on. So then we go to the events, which is the trunk of the tree. And that is what in your childhood, what in your past Maybe this is a new limiting belief that's really bothering you. Maybe it's not an event from when you were 7 and it's an event from when you were 27. But what is the event that caused you to believe this? What happened? What got you here? What made you think this? And this could be something somebody said to you. This could be something friends or family, a stranger, a movie, someone on TV, on and on. What event, right? And then you're going to finish with the beliefs, the limiting belief. What do you believe because of this? Because of this whole rest of the tree? Because of this event that is giving you these emotions, that's bringing up these symptoms? What is the root of it? What is that belief? So the belief is plus size people can't be happy. Is that what I said? Um, that's a lie, by the way. These lies, these limiting beliefs, sometimes they're from other people, but sometimes they're from us too, right? Maybe we saw something and then we took it to mean this way. So doing this work is not for the faint of heart, and it's not easy, and it's not always it's not like I'm in session with people and they're coming in one way and leaving a whole new person every week. Sometimes it takes weeks and weeks. Sometimes we can clear and heal things in a session in an hour, and it's great, and that absolutely happens. But I don't want you to think that happens for everything, because some things are really deeply rooted. And so when you are trying to work to get to the bottom of something, of what you should tap on, I highly recommend using the tree and tapping on the symptoms, tapping on the feeling it's giving you, tapping on how it's presenting in your life. Then move on to the emotions, tapping on the feelings it's giving you, tapping on that hurt and that pain. Then you move on to the event. Okay. And that can be very hard to work through. But again, very helpful with a practitioner, because they can kind of guide you and keep you on track. It can be hard to go through some past events, right? Tap on that event, take away the sting of that memory, and then go to your roots, then go to that limiting belief. And it's delicate work, guys. It really is. So thank you so much for joining me for this little workshop course, and I hope you enjoyed it and you feel confident using EFT moving forward. Please feel free to join my empowerment community on Facebook. It's a free group. I'm still on Facebook. I know, I'm an old lady. Or follow me on Instagram, and obviously here on YouTube at Holistic Serenity. I would love it if you would subscribe and leave a like if this helped you. Feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions. And then, as a thank you for being here, I'm offering a special on my one-on-one coaching sessions. I offer them in a 4-session and 12-session bundle, or you can pay weekly. And obviously there's a discount if you book 4 or 12. But for this special, for you watching this whole YouTube video, you can get 20% off of 4 sessions, which would bring it down to just $200. I really wanted to make my coaching affordable and realistically affordable, because I know that this is important work, and I know that it's life-changing work, and I want everyone to be able to access that. So my website is www.jessicarosecornish.com. You can book everything in there. You can leave a comment below, and I will send you the link. I'll put the link in the description here too. So yeah, I think that's everything, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Please, like I said, let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you next time. Bye.